Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. Now in today's video, I'm just going to be making some very simple things to eat. You can't even really call them dishes because it's just going to be random things that I make to eat using the homemade bread that I made in an earlier video. Now I'll leave that video linked in the description box below in case you haven't seen it. But it's so easy to make your own homemade bread and it costs just pennies. And you can make just one loaf. I know that so many recipes out there actually make 2 loaves. This one doesn't, it makes 1. And being able to make just 1 loaf of bread is a lot better for a smaller household, such as only 1 or 2 people. I know Keith isn't here a lot of the times and I don't eat bread every day. So I don't want to make 2 loaves of bread. I know you can freeze it, but personally, for me, I would rather not freeze it. Besides it taking up my precious freezer space, I want it more on the fresh side. So at least with the 1 loaf, if I need to, I can put it in my refrigerator to keep it fresher longer. So this video is just going to be to show you that you can use your homemade bread just like you do your store-bought bread. And I actually am enjoying it a lot more for the simple fact I can cut it to whatever thickness I want it to be. So because of that, I'm not having to buy 2 or 3 different kinds of bread and then trying to figure out how to use it all up if I buy it from the store. So anyway, enough of that. Let's get in the kitchen and make our first meal using our homemade bread. I'm going to be using some of my homemade bread today and over the next few days just to show you that this easy homemade bread can be used just like the bread you buy from the grocery store, but it's actually better. See, I even have just a plastic bread bag. You can buy these. I got these at Walmart just in a pack. They're good for a lot of things, but they're great for storing your bread in. So we're going to slice us off some bread. I'm going to make some French toast. So I want mine pretty thick. See how beautiful this bread is inside? So I'm going to take these 2 slices of bread and we're going to get these fixed up for some French toast. As usual with French toast, you want to start with an egg. Put it in your bowl. I'm going to add a little bit of milk. I'm going to add in just a little bit of vanilla, some cinnamon, a little bit of sugar, and I'm just going to get all that mixed up. Now I know most people know how to make French toast and I've made it in videos before. This video is to show you that you can use your homemade bread just like you would use the store-bought bread. I think sometimes that people think because you make it at home that it's not as good or it can't be used like you use the store-bought, and you can. The homemade is actually better for you because it doesn't have all those preservatives in it. Now, I'm not saying I'll never buy another loaf of bread because I can guarantee you I will. I'll buy another loaf of bread from the store. Never say never. But this is a great option if I have the time to make my homemade bread. I would rather have it homemade. Now I'm going to take 1 slice of my bread and just do it like I would normally do French toast. Dip it down in that egg. Now while my bread is hanging out in my egg mixture, I've got my griddle going over here and it's already hot. I've got it set between 325 and 350. We're going to put us some butter on it. Now I've got this ready to go. And we're going to put it over here on our griddle. Going to get my other piece of bread. We're going to do the same thing with it. Okay, we're ready to flip. Got them both flipped. They both look really nice. I tore this piece just a little bit. Okay, let's plate it up. Yes, that's perfect. Oh, I lost a piece. Here we go. Let's dress it up. I'm going to dress mine up a little bit by adding me some butter. Gotta have butter on French toast. Next, I'm going to add me a little bit of powdered sugar. Now I'm just sprinkling mine on by hand. You can sift it on there if you want. And now you don't even have to add it. It just makes it extra yummy. You see my butter sliding off the French toast. But now we're going to add us some syrup. Now, you can add syrup or not. You can add butter or not. You can add powdered sugar or not. Eat it how you want to. Now I'm going to go get me a bite of this. Okay, y'all, I've got my French toast. We're going to give it a taste. I'm sure it tastes good, but I have never used homemade bread to make my French toast. I actually enjoyed cooking it with homemade bread because I was able to cut it however thick I wanted it to be. And don't get me wrong, I'm fine with eating it just with loaf bread you buy from the store, but it is kind of on the thin side when you cook it that way. Now this is nothing special, it's just regular French toast. This is really good. I love that I was able to cut it as thick as I want to because this is really, really good at this thickness. And this actually tastes better with the homemade bread. It's probably because it doesn't have all the preservatives in it that the store-bought bread does. This is really good. I'm probably going to have to try grilled cheese with it later. Maybe for dinner. I'm going to go eat. Now we're going to try using the homemade bread to make just a plain old grilled cheese. Now I've cut it thinner than what I've been cutting it. It's sliced really well. And I'm going to use mayonnaise on one side of each of my pieces of bread. So I know you know how to make a grilled cheese, so that's not what this is about. This video is about seeing how well my fresh homemade bread holds up to using it the same way that you would store-bought bread, because this doesn't have any of those preservatives that your store-bought bread has. Okay, so here we go. I have got some butter on my griddle. I've got it set to about 325. We're going to grill this cheese sandwich. I'm going to put that bread mayonnaise down. I've got 2 slices of cheese, just American cheese. And I've got this bread I'm going to put on top that is mayonnaise side up. And we're just going to grill this like you would any other regular grilled cheese. Okay, I'm going to flip it. Well, it looks good. I think my grilled cheese is done. Let's check the other side. Yeah, I'm going to say that's done. Alright. I'm not even going to put this on a plate. I'm going to use some fine china. We're going to put it on that instead. We're going to go give this a taste after it cools for just a couple of minutes, because this sucker's hot. Okay. Don't mind any background noises. It is about to come a storm, I think, and it's doing a lot of thundering right now, which Samson absolutely cannot stand, and so he may be barking during this little segment. Anyway, back to the sandwich. Now, I know y'all know how to make a grilled cheese. I'm just doing this video just to reiterate here, I'm doing this video solely for the purpose of seeing how well the homemade bread holds up to the different ways that I would use bread, and to see if it tastes better, the same, or worse than store-bought bread, because it doesn't have all those preservatives in it. I've already determined that it does taste better in the other things that I've eaten with it, and I think it's because it's fresh homemade bread. Very easy to make, so let's give it a taste. Got my grilled cheese. It's still pretty hot, so okay, that's good. Sorry about that. I had a phone call right in the middle of it. Anyway, this grilled cheese is really good. This bread is delicious. Another winner for the homemade bread. Okay, I'm gonna go eat my grilled cheese. I had to come back for just a minute. Look at the inside of this bread. I don't know how well you can tell on this. But doesn't that look delicious? Anyway, I'm gonna go eat. Now here is the bread that I have left, and I want to make some croutons. We're going to try it with that, and we're going to see how it holds up. So I think for this, I think I'm going to take this other end over here, and I want them fairly thick, about 1 inch thick. So I'm going to slice me a piece of this bread off, just like that. I'm going to take a second slice. Okay. It's nice and thick. So for homemade croutons, you just want to take and cut your bread into 1 inch cubes. Now you can do it smaller if you'd like. I'm just doing 2 pieces of bread. Next, you're going to take your bread and you're just going to put it in a bowl. For this next step, you can use either oil or butter. I'm going to use some olive oil, and I'm just going to spray this down, and I'm just going to toss while I'm spraying to get the bread nice and coated. I'm preheating my air fryer at 400 degrees for about 3 minutes. But now comes the fun part, because you can season these croutons however you want to season them. And I'm going to be using this Kinder's buttery garlic and herb. This seasoning is great on many different things, and I believe it's going to be just as good, if not better, on my croutons. So I'm going to season these generously, and then I'm going to toss them. You want each piece to get some oil and seasoning on it. These are nice and seasoned. My air fryer is ready. We're going to take these over and get them popped into the air fryer. Now I'm just going to dump them in. Try to make sure that they're in a single layer. Now I made extra of these. I could have done just 1 piece of bread, but I might want to snack on these. So this is more than enough for my salad. This will make a tasty snack. So now that they're all laying flat, they're in a single layer, we're going to close this up, set it on 400 degrees, and cook it for 5 to 7 minutes. You do want to shake it halfway through. Now it's been 5 minutes, so let's pull this thing out of here and let's just see. Oh, those look good. Now here's my croutons. I cooked mine for 5 minutes, and I think that's going to be plenty long enough. Yeah, that's going to be plenty. I don't want to burn them. I'm going to let these sit here and cool down, still in the air fryer basket. I'm just going to set them over here to the side. The longer they sit and cool, the crispier that they're going to be, and the crunchier. So I'm just going to let them sit here and hang out for a while. We'll give them a taste in just a minute though. Okay, y'all. I've got my air fryer basket right here. I'm going to take out me a nice size crouton. We're going to take this one right here. And they look good and they smell delicious. These are going to be great in my salad later this evening. But I'm going to give them a taste. I know that the garlic buttery herb seasoning is wonderful on pizzas and stromboli, Italian bread. They've got to be delicious on this bread. Oh yeah. These are going to be so good on my salad. Nice and crunchy. So the homemade bread gets an A+ from me, especially for these croutons. If you've never made homemade croutons, you need to. And you don't need homemade bread to do that. You can use sourdough, French bread, regular loaf bread will work. Just make sure that it is not fresh. If it is, let it dry out for a little while, then cut it up, season it, pop it in your air fryer. Okay, so far so good with the homemade bread. I think I've got one more thing that I'm going to use it for this video, and I'll do that tomorrow. This is the bread I have left, and this morning it's going to be the star of the show. I mean, I'll put a clip in there of what I'm going to be cooking, but the bread is the star. We're going to be making some toast to go along with my eggs and my sausage, and I want to see how well my homemade bread holds up in the toaster, and then how well it holds up when I add butter and jelly to it. We'll see. So far, I have loved this loaf of bread. It has served many purposes. Let's see how it does with toast. I'm just frying me up a piece of sausage. So here's my little old toaster. This toaster's probably at least 20 years old. Just a little 2-slicer, but it's still kicking. The most that ever gets put in it most of the time is either Keith making some toast or him toasting some Pop-Tarts. He loves his Pop-Tarts. Anyway, I got my 2 slices of bread right here. Now, this is the thickness on them, just like a regular piece of bread. So I'm going to put them in my toaster. And I've got mine set on about a 4.5 to 5. I like my toast really brown. So if it pops up out of here and it ain't brown enough, it's going back in. But I'm about to get my eggs ready to scramble them. So let's get this toast going. Okay, I got my toast out. I got my sausage patty cooked. A couple of scrambled eggs with some cheese. And now my toast. Toast just come out of the toaster. And now I'm just going to be spreading some of this on it. I love that sound on my toast. Now I like mine toasted, actually toasted. I don't like it just blonde. Some people may think that's burnt. That ain't burnt. That's good is what that is. You actually have a crunch when you bite into your toast. So far, so good. My bread is holding up very well. Now let's get some jelly on it. I don't eat a lot of jelly. My favorite jelly is strawberry. Now, Keith likes grape, so that's what I always keep because I like grape too. It's just my favorite is strawberry. I don't eat enough jelly to really keep it, so we just go with one type of jelly in our house. I just got me a teaspoon. I'm going to put some jelly on my toast. Alright, let's go give this a taste. Okay, I got my toast over here. Now it looks good. I'm sure it's going to taste good because this homemade bread has really surprised me at how good it really is and how much better it does taste than the store-bought bread. I mean, I know I keep saying that, but it is really good. So I'm going to get me a bite of this. Now I'm not going to taste test my eggs or my sausage because that's not the star of the show today, okay? It's the toast. That is good. I love the crunch. I'm telling you, you got to make you some homemade bread. So many different ways to use it, and they're all so good. Okay, there you go. The toast is perfect. It toasted up great in that ancient toaster we have. But hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? That toaster's been kicking for 20 years. I'm not going to mess with a good thing. I'm going to go eat the rest of my breakfast along with my toast because I don't like cold eggs. I'm going to go eat. So that's it for this video. Just everyday ways that you would use regular store-bought bread. I wanted to use the homemade bread because I've never been successful at making a loaf of homemade bread until this one. So I wanted to see if it held up as well as store-bought bread in your everyday typical uses of bread. I was pleasantly surprised, and of course it tasted so much better than the store-bought bread because it doesn't have all those preservatives. And I also loved the fact that I could slice that bread as thick or as thin as I wanted to. And so I didn't have to go buy Texas toast bread because it's thicker, you know, for my French toast, or a thinner sandwich bread for my grilled cheese. So for me, that was a definite plus. The only downside to homemade baked bread that I can even find is the time that it takes that you wait. But you know, while you're waiting, you can do other things. You don't just have to sit and wait on it. Do some of your chores around the house while you wait. Set a timer. I just told my phone to set a timer for however long I needed it to, and it did. But other than that, there's no downsides for the homemade baked bread. So go give this video a thumbs up, share it, leave me a comment below, and I'll see you in the next video.